Hello, hello, Steve Fletcher here, and welcome to another tuition video. Today we are taking a look at Pink Floyd's The Final Cut. Now I know this album is it's a bit of a Marmite album for a lot of Floyd fans. It's certainly not the album that the casual Pink Floyd fan would go to first. And I speak from experience here because I think this was probably the third or fourth Floyd album that I ever bought, because when I was a kid, about 15, 16 years old, I was massively obsessing about Pink Floyd, just trying to hoover up everything I possibly can. Now you've got to remember, in those days, of course, so there was no streaming or anything like that, no YouTube. So all of this stuff, the only way you could listen to new material and whatever was go out of the house and buy it. You remember those days? So it was a case of, you could only, I, as a sort of 14, 15, 16-year-old spotty little oik with no job, could only go out sort of once in a while when I'd scraped together, begged, borrowed enough money off everyone I knew to go out and buy a CD. So I remember buying The Division Bell. I remember buying Dark Side of the Moon. We'd got Pulse on video. But I obviously wanted to get more. So I was looking through the shops and I remember seeing this and looking at the back and being like, wow, there's a lot of tracks on that. That's a lot of Floyd for me to get into. I'll buy this. So I bought The Final Cut and obviously remember when I got home being just like, what is this? This isn't Dark Side of the Moon. It's not Division Bell. It's just like a spoken word record. I mean, it's not really. But obviously my feelings on it have changed dramatically in the intervening years. I love this album. I did do a Pink Floyd studio albums ranking video vlog a little while ago. I'll put a link up there and I'll put a link down there in the descriptions to that. And The Final Cut did do pretty well in the ranking. Now, it's not an album that we associate with really as being classic Pink Floyd. Obviously, we'd lost Rick Wright by this point. He'd been ousted from the band. He'd sort of he'd resigned with a push, I think is the way we can word that the most democratically. We'd got Nick Mason acting in a very minimal role, only the occasional bit of drum sounds. Roger Waters dominating the songwriting and the concepts. David Gilmour even sort of reduced very much to the sidelines. And what David Gilmour delivered, and this is where I'm getting to with this, is he delivered, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful, lyrically gorgeous guitar playing that he's ever committed to tape. So what we're having a look at today is the Fletcher Memorial Home. For quite obvious reasons, this song just speaks to me, being a Fletcher. So it's a lovely song. It's another great guitar solo opportunity from David Gilmour. I basically think that this album, no, it's not the best Floyd album. It is one of my favourites, but it's not the best. It's not what you would send, someone who was just starting out on their Floyd Odyssey. You wouldn't send them to this album straight away. But it is, I think, a beautiful album. And I think the Fletcher Memorial Home is one of those fantastic guitar solos. It's got some great little harmony parts in there. You don't associate Gilmour with much harmony guitar playing, so it's really nice that he breaks that out quite a little bit for this album. It's almost like he was just like, if you're not going to give me anything else to do, I'm going to drop the most amazing guitar solos I've ever done. And he did, I think. They're absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, here we have the Fletcher Memorial Home. It's got this beautiful David Gilmour solo in it. It's a lovely one, almost a lovely one for beginners to learn, because there's not, it's very lyrical. It's very straightforward. There's not a great deal of challenging stuff in there. So it's a really nice solo to get to grips with, and I hope you enjoy it. If you are wanting to get hold of the tabs, you can do that. The link for the tabs, again, is right there on YouTube, or it's right down there in the descriptions. You can get yourself a copy of those tabs. Please like this video. Please send me some comments. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. Yes, I'm one of those annoying YouTubers who constantly barrages you with requests to subscribe. It really, really does make a difference to us. I think that's everything. So we'll see you next time, boys and girls. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.